what's your process in that sort of situation? Do you see that as just all possibility ahead of you, or what sort of attitude are you taking towards that final attempt?
Yeah. It never crossed my mind that I wasn't going to make it, really. I mean, I felt like, and maybe that was even a problem on the first two attempts because I just knew I had that last attempt waiting for me, and it's like almost needed my back against the wall a little bit to where like this is the final moment, and I didn't really write it up that way. I wanted to go in and not miss a single bar the whole competition from the prelims onto the final and break the world record, but it ended up being better as far as dramatic wise. But I don't know. I just remember kind of being there on the back runway, and I almost had this like super weird sense of like deja vu because it felt like I had been in this situation before, and I think maybe because when just being a child and I've just dreamt of pretty much exactly the moment that I was in so many times that I felt like I had almost already been there before, and I felt very this really weird wave of comfort and calmness before the attempt. And of course, there also is the fact that it was like I had already broken the Olympic record. I won the Olympic gold. It's my second Olympic gold. I have
Yeah.
like all of my family there, so like I've really done like the biggest job for se, even though it never crossed my mind that I wasn't going to break the record. It was that was always the goal of the competition. Uh, but I just had this real like I like I wasn't tense at all really. I just felt really really calm, and I felt like really confident, and I felt like I've just like visualized this moment so many times that it was just like I have to just go and kind of do what the picture was, in a way, and just really relax because I think sometimes those really really high jumps like they call for that almost in a way because it's so high and it demands such a fluid and uh almost perfect jump
Yeah.
that you kind of have to let it flow in that way because when you tense up a little bit and you miss the flow of the jump a bit. And so I know that I have to, it's almost like when everything has to be so perfect to do a jump, it makes you more calm because you know that if you get caught up on any little detail, you're going to miss the next part. So you just have to let it happen. So I just kind of was like, yeah, just like it's all or nothing really in a way. I didn't really think about it like bigger than that. It's kind of just like this is it, last attempt, Olympics, and like might as well. This is where you lay it all out there. If it's a
Yeah.
just give the best jump that is possible in my body, and you know whatever happens happens. I wasn't like thinking about really like failure or whatever.
You've spoken before about sort of going in search of moments as much as sort of medals.
Mhm.
Was that the perfect moment? I mean, when you knew you were over, you knew it was done. Does it go quiet before it goes crazy, or is it possible to describe that point?
I don't know. Uh, I'd have to think a little bit. I think it is kind of quiet actually, um, because it is like laser focus for sure, and I am very like locked in on what I'm doing, building up to the jump. And or like building up to like the takeoff point, which I guess is the most important part of like the approach takeoff.
Yeah.
That kind of sets up everything. And if that's not right, then it's never going to work. But yeah, it's like I don't know. It's super hard to explain. It's this weird tunnel vision in a way. But I know that I mean the crowd was super huge and it was giving me a lot of energy. And so there was a lot of like noise. Uh, but I feel like it was like more just channeling that and kind of using it in your favor. And I think that that's almost what allowed me to be so calm is because I knew like energy was, I was pretty tired towards the end of the competition, I think physically, but it's like mentally, it's like there's so much of an abundance from the crowd and there's so much just electricity just everywhere that it's like, really, I'm just trying to stay calm almost in a way, and just try to take it as if it's you know almost just a jump,
Yeah. Yeah.
just a jump that I have to jump really really high, and I have to do the best like the best jump that there is. But other than that, just trying to but really really just trying to keep it as simple as I possibly can.
Yeah. And it must be completely different, say, to being in front of a football crowd where some part of the ground of the stadium doesn't want you to do well. And the other part
Yeah,
of everybody, all that energy coming towards you was wanting you to be able to succeed. So was it fun to not play with the theater of it, but to use that energy of it to
yeah,
be creative with it?
yeah. And I mean, I didn't really think about it like that deeply in the moment, but you can imagine that the people just stayed because they want to see a world record. If I
Yeah.
didn't have a chance to break the world record, they probably would have left. I don't know. And so they were so I mean in hindsight, you know that if I don't make that bar, then it's a bit of a dull ending in a way. It's not as fun for everybody. So it is pretty crazy that I was able to like kind of end it in that way. And yeah, and for like I feel like I've done this a few times too. It was like the same in World Champs in 2022, World Indoors in 2022 also, where it's just like happened this way. And I think that brings something out of me also. It's when I'm like the last person and like it ends up being just my attempt and then just send everybody off on like the best note possible. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think you think about it more after the fact. You don't really think about it that much during. For me, I think I just remember a lot of Swedish flags, like a
Yeah.
lot of Swedish flags, especially for the small country that we are. Um, and that I know was really special to me. And I think I was thinking mostly about just them and my family. So I was like, there's so many Swedes here, and of course also my family. And like they're just here for me to kick butt and to watch a Swede win and hopefully break the world record. Of course, I just really wanted to do something special for all everybody that was there that came from Sweden and of course my family. And so I really like I don't think I really thought about like the rest of like the 80,000 all that much. It was more just they were just giving me like the energy of the noise, but you don't really like process it and take it all in the moment.
Yeah, I guess it's important probably not to think too much, and especially given the amount of time that you're out there for. I mean, from you
Mm-hmm.
stepping out into that arena in the first place to that gap of time between you getting out there and that final jump it's a long time. I mean, how do you sort of keep that mental focus, or do you let yourself drift and then sort of pull yourself back in?
Yeah. I think it's like those moments even in between are just as important as the time you're jumping. And you have to really find a balance between uh, where you kind of clear your mind and you clear your stress and you clear your thoughts, but you still need to be focused enough on the next jump and kind of calculate what you want to do also because there's a lot of numbers that we're trying to calculate when we're
Yeah,
out there on the track and we have all these decisions of what bar to jump at, the depth of the standards, what pole I'm going to grab, what grip, where I'm going to run from, what speed is required for whatever pole and grip that I'm on, and then of course the wind, which can be doing whatever, and then that just absolutely throws completely different variable in the equation if the wind is acting funky. Um, and so like you still have to calculate all these things, but I think that after I've already made a decision of what I'm going to do, I think then I try to you just have to trust that it's right, and then in the meantime I try to just shoot the shit with the guys as much as I can, and just I think we just try to relax because it is a really long time, and I'll have like an hour in between jumps, hour and a half maybe in
yeah,
between jumps sometimes. So like mentally, but then also physically, staying warm and staying ready to go for when the time is there. It is very, it's very important. But I think for me, I just usually just kind of chill out, hang out. I just watch other guys jump. I don't really think too much of it. I just watch the jump and just almost like enjoy the enjoy having really good seats.
Yeah.
Enjoy having like front row seats and just watching them jump, and then just kind of not really taking, unless there's like something crazy going on, like the wind or something like that. Not really taking like anything that other people do into consideration, because I try to like let my body and what I want to achieve that day be the main priority. And try not to compete against the other people, just compete against myself, because I know that if I jump the way that I know that I can jump, then I should be the guy that can jump the highest on every given day. But just kind of just watching, just enjoying pole vault, enjoying the event, and seeing the best guys in the world just jumping right there, right in front of me. I think that's also still a pretty cool thing.